Here we are. Good
Ready,
morning, everybody.
Ready to kill it?
Oh yeah, ready to kill it, ready to crush it, ready to do it.
What's up?
We gonna do it all night. Adam Sandler's the Water Boy reference.
That's the man. I kept telling
Rob Schneider.
I kept telling Mary this thing, and I kept telling Scrappy it all day, and she's so annoyed by it. I was saying, Scrappy, it's you, Daddy, Roberto. I said, me and you gonna be like the poodle and his daddy off the ESPN dog show.
Oh, that's funny, man. Yeah. Scrappy, it's your daddy, Roberto. Oh, that's funny, man. Nothing better than starting out a podcast with Adam Sandler references.
We could go on for days.
Oh my god, man, we couldn't stop because they're the funniest references.
Yeah,
I mean, just in that movie alone. Yeah. My god. Then you talk about The Longest Yard. Oh my goodness, man, they're the best though.
Yeah.
So, but this ain't an Adam Sandler podcast. But it could be, man.
It could be. We could make the hour and a half about Adam Sandler.
Oh my gosh, easily, man. Like nonstop. So might throw in some more references.
Yeah.
Oh man. So
Red Ferrari for free.
Free.
You remember that one?
Yeah, the night movie, the babysitter, bedtime stories. Yeah. Oh.
But let's jump right into it. This is Fight Birds podcast, number 26. If you haven't joined in with us before, as always, I'm Marcus Burks, and this is Albert Walters.
Hey, guys! Happy to be here.
We got a good one today. We got so much to talk about.
We got a lot of crap to talk about.
We're probably missing stuff, but
well, we definitely are. And you know what's crazy? A lot of people are going to be sitting at home, and they're just going to be like, because self-quarantine, self-chilling, no disease spreading, they're going to be chilling at their house. Let's encourage them to watch the Fight Bros podcast on YouTube.
We'll put that in our caption. If you ain't got nothing to do, you sitting around bored, listen to the Fight Bros podcast while you cleaning your house, while you playing video games.
You got the coronavirus? Yeah. Watch this. Dude, we can make that as our thumbnail.
Yeah.
Like big purple letters or whatever people do. Like, what? Do you have the coronavirus? Watch this. And then people are like, oh, man, let me watch. Like it'd be some stupid-ass clickbait.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Well, let's jump right into it. We got... Last time we left off, we gave predictions for UFC 248. We haven't got to recap that yet.
No.
A lot of good stuff on this card.
A lot of crap. A lot of good, a lot of crap. So
let's start out with Zhang versus Joanna Jędrzejczyk.
Okay.
In my opinion, this is the greatest women's fight I've ever seen.
I don't disagree.
And I don't want to put that word women's in there because... Honestly, I would say it's probably one of the greatest fights I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, really, truly one of the top. Well, if you want to categorize it with men, women's, I gotta say number one fight ever. Yeah. If you want to take that category out, top 5. Yeah,
top 5 definitely. Top 5. Yeah,
easily. We cannot say the same for the Adesanya Romero fight, but we'll get into that. So Willie Zhang, Joanna Jędrzejczyk.
So this went to split decision.
Yeah.
I don't know how you could have judged this. I don't know the preferences. I guess it just depends on the preferences of the judges. When I was sitting down with the people I was watching the pay-per-view with, a couple of people said it one way, a couple of people said it the other way, and Ethan, that we've had on the podcast a couple of times, was saying draw. And I completely agree with him. I agreed with him. I thought I wouldn't have been mad at a draw, but just my preference, and I like Joanna Jędrzejczyk. I feel like young Jacek, she landed more strikes. Go look at the stat sheet.
Yeah.
She landed more strikes. I thought that's how we're supposed to be judged. But if you look at it from Zhang, her strikes did some damage. So, she was doing power shots. But from my standpoint, I believe the split decision, if not a draw, should have went to young Jacek. I believe she controlled more. She put more pressure. Let's not disregard the fact that Joanna Young Jacek did damage. I remember I jumped up out my seat with that head kick. I don't know if you got to see that, but she hit Zhang with a head kick, dude. I thought Zhang was out. It rocked her, dude.
Yeah.
And I mean, Joanna's not known for this power, and I was like, that was just a completely different Joanna Young Jacek than I've ever seen before. It looked like she put on some weight. She put on some muscle. I guess she's been working with a strength and conditioning trainer or something, a new person. I mean, dude, that was the best she's ever looked.
Absolutely.
And what makes me mad is, like, I feel like people online, they kept sharing that meme of her head. And it made me mad because I'm like, dude, she's a warrior. She just went out there and fought. She arguably won. If you watch that fight, if you look at it after the fight and you look at both of their faces,
you're going
to be like, she lost. But, man, she's a warrior. She sat there and she had that swelling all over her head. That whole 5th round kept getting hit in it. Dude, it didn't phase her. She never acted like she got rocked or anything. I think both of these women are warriors, man. But young Jacek, I mean, she can't help that her face swelled like that. She's just adrenaline just getting her through it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what made me mad is when I went online and people ain't even watching UFC, they're like sharing this saying, oh, she shouldn't have talked all that crap. She should have talked all that crap because she went there and backed it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was sad to see my girl lose. Willie Zhang's a hard competitor, but like you said, on paper, she should have won.
So, and I'll get to you, but what I want to see, there's nobody else. There's nobody else that gave Zhang a fight like that. She made easy work of Rose Namajunas. She made easy work of Jessica Andrade. I want to see this rematch.
I don't. Well, like you said, what else is next?
That's what everybody's saying. That everybody wants this rematch. I don't. And young Jacek, her swelling went down. She posted pictures. Her swelling went down. She got a little bit of plastic surgery to get rid of some of the swelling that was like in her cheekbones and nose, I believe. But all that swelling in her forehead that was so noticeable, that's completely gone. So she's wanting to, and that's what she's calling for. She wants the rematch. I think the latter part of 2020, which I think is perfect. Give these girls like 6 months off, and let's run it back.
Yeah, like November or something.
Yeah.
So I don't disagree. I think that'd be a good setup.
Yeah.
So well, I agree. So I was sad to see her lose, man.
Yeah, it sucked.
So
I thought she was gonna win. Like I was on the edge of my seat during that decision, just where it was split decision. I just thought she was gonna get it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was so ready to celebrate. I was like, she just beat the woman that nobody thought she was gonna beat. Nobody thought Zhang could be defeated. Nobody thought Zhang could be damaged like she was. Zhang's face was swollen too.
Yeah,
it was swollen pretty bad.
Absolutely. And so, like you said, this was a different Joanna. So
yeah,
I was sad to see her lose, man.
And it sucks because like people are saying like, oh, this is her, what is it, third title fight or something in the last 2 years. Nah, she needs to get it. It's like Romero. If nobody's better than you, somebody needs to prove it or you keep getting it.
Yeah.
That's how the sport's supposed to be. Like,
you keep fighting to get to the top.
If the people under you they can't beat you,
then what's the you like as the person on top, you want that challenge.
Yeah.
So, oh well. Romero and Adesanya, not as interesting as the co-main event.
Oh, this fight was so hype. And I don't know, it's very, very disappointing.
Very disappointing.
I place a little bit of blame on both of them.
You think so?
Now, we'll get into it later, later in a few seconds, but most of my blame is on Adesanya.
Oh, I agree.
But at the same time, I'm kind of like, well, Romero, you knew this could have been your last title shot. But at the same time, I mean, when somebody's running like that, you know what I'm saying? But
it's kind of hard to like keep chasing them.
It's very tough, but Adesanya ended up beating Romero by majority decision, which does not make sense because if you're judging it like you're supposed to judge it, Romero won round number 1, round number 2, and I can't remember what other round that I thought he won right off the top of my head, and that other people thought he won. Justin Gaethje came out on Twitter and said Romero won rounds 1, 2, and I can't remember the other one. He said Romero won, maybe the 5th, and he was like, Romero won. Like, regardless of how the fight went, how you're supposed to judge it, Romero won.
Dude, Romero's been robbed a lot.
Yeah.
Like, this ain't the first time we see this.
I wouldn't say he was robbed just because of the...
Not robbed. Like, we saw him got robbed with a few of his other opponents, like Costa.
Yeah, like Costa and Whitaker, too. Yeah. I felt like those were robbed.
Yeah, those were robbed. This one wasn't, like, robbed, but this just wasn't a good fight. Like, Adesanya kept running. And, you know, like, I was rooting for Adesanya. I'm not even happy he won because I don't think he performed like he was supposed to.
Yeah, and this is why I gave him crap. I've always took up for people like, oh, you know, people get mad like, oh, this wrestler like Khabib just wrestled the whole time. Like, no, that's what he does. That's his skill.
Yeah.
But also he doesn't say, oh, I'm going to knock this guy out. Adesanya talked so much before the fight saying he was going to be the first one to finish Romero, this and that. And then when you two got the chance to meet in the middle and engage, Adesanya got rocked a couple of times and ran back.
Yeah.
I thought he was a counter puncher.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I thought he was a counter striker. That's kind of my problem with it is that Adesanya said, you know, he's kind of one of those guys that have been talking the talk. You know, he said he was going to go out there and finish Whitaker. He did. I don't get why you wouldn't meet Romero.
Yeah.
Why?
It's like this dude who has beat Romero.
Yeah.
He beat him once.
Yeah.
Didn't beat him the second time, but on the, you know, he got the win, but he didn't actually win. But you rocked Whitaker. You won. Why didn't you do that with Romero?
Yeah, and I wouldn't be criticizing him if he just said, like, oh, I don't know how I'm going to win, but I'm going to go out there and win. You know, I'm not giving a prediction.
Yeah.
But he talked all the whole month before about how he was going to finish him. And that's just kind of what got me. That's why I kind of threw a little bit of criticism his way.
Yeah.
And then I was telling you about this earlier. I don't like this either. The aftermath of the fight when Dana White was talking, you know, after the fight when he got interviewed, he blamed it on Romero.
What did he say about Romero?
He pretty much just said, like, he's not getting another title shot. And he was like, if I have to place blame on why the fight went how it was, he was like, I would place it on Romero. Now, everybody wants to talk about, okay, the first 30 seconds of the fight, Romero came out there like this, and he just kind of like walked forward. I think he was just kind of trolling.
Yeah, he just kind of screwing. Yeah.
He was just trolling, and he just did that for the first 30 seconds. But then, like, he was trying to take Adesanya off his game plan. Adesanya is a counter striker. Romero is a counter striker. He was trying to make Adesanya pressure forward, which Adesanya never did. And Romero took his chances. That's my thing, is Romero was actually taking chances.
Yeah.
He would actually go forward a little bit. But Dana White blamed it on Romero, said, you know, that was his last time to get a title shot. He doesn't understand why he didn't. My problem with that is, let's go back to Tyron Woodley versus Wonderboy 1 versus Wonderboy 2. Tyron Woodley versus Damian Maia. Tyron Woodley, Dana White criticized him so much. And you know what the stats said? Adesanya threw less strikes than Tyron Woodley. So Adesanya might have threw the least amount of strikes in a title fight ever. I don't know if that's right, but he's up there.
Yeah.
I know he's definitely up there, top 5.
Yeah.
So that was my problem with it. And I didn't like how during the fight, like, Rogan and them didn't say that. They said that about Tyron Woodley during the fight, but they didn't say that about Adesanya. And I feel like it's just because, like, Adesanya is, like, this kind of golden boy right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and nobody wants to criticize. Nobody within the UFC wants to criticize him.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I feel like he deserved some of that criticism. I feel like he deserved the boos after.
Yeah.
Because, now, I'm not saying if he would have said, oh, okay, you know, I got a game plan, I'm going to go out there and do it. If he did that and he didn't say, oh, I was going to finish him, I was going to knock him out, then that's fine.
Yeah,
you know,
but it's that booed. Crap. It's that particular, like, I'm going to knock you out. Then you, like, run the whole time. That's what's annoying.
Yeah.
If you were like, yeah, I predict I'm going to win by running.
Yeah.
Then you did that. You're like, oh, I'm unsatisfied, but you told the truth. Like, so I'm not a fan of how this played out.
So now I guess we'll kind of talk about Oh, and let's talk about this. Okay, so after the fight, the Romero's interview was kind of funny.
It was a good interview.
It was kind of funny, man. He was like, these people came to see a fight. They ain't seen no fight. They saw running. He said, if you want to watch running, go watch Usain Bolt. I was dying, man.
Oh, it was funny. He was so upset. He was like, the people who paid for the tickets, the people who paid for the pay-per-view, they want to see people fight.
Yeah.
This was not a fight tonight. Like, he was so mad.
Oh, I loved it.
So, but I get it, though. Like, Romero, I mean, he grew up, like, street fighting. Like, those tournament fightings where you just fight for food. And,
he fought for food. I remember when he got on Rogan's podcast and he was like, they responded to people trying to say that he took steroids. He was like, no, dude. He was like, I lived in Cuba. Like, we didn't have nothing like that. He was like, you know what? After I got done working out, here's some sugar water. He said they would literally mix sugar and water, and that was like our Gatorade. That was our replenishment. Yeah. Yeah. That's what he accredited to his muscles was sugar water. So, yeah, you know. But and then the next day, I was telling you about this too. Alessandra put on Twitter that night. He was like, "Oh, Romero's leg's made of steel," and he was like, "Look what I did to his leg." And Romero's leg was a little bit red and swollen. But then the next day, Romero's like, "Oh, what about my leg?" And he's outside jogging in the sand, and he's like, "I'm getting ready." He's pretty much trolling him, saying, "I'm getting ready for this race, this running race. Since you want to do that." Yeah. And in the ring, too, Alessandra was like, if you're still here when you're 50, I'll give you a rematch. I was like, no. And we'll talk about this. What do you think will be next for Romero and Alessandra? Because I feel like we got to get predictions for both of them because both of them will be ready to... Well, Alessandra's out 6 months. Let's get that right. They think he has 2 broken feet. Yeah. 2 broken feet, not where he can't walk, but like fractures and stuff like that. Yeah. So they think he has 2 broken feet. So we can talk about what's next for him. And then Romero's manager actually said he's going to be back in 12 weeks, which he should. I mean, they both didn't take no damage. Yeah. Well, so
that's the hard thing, though. What could be next for both of these guys? Romero's coming off like what, 3 losses now or something like that?
Yeah, 4. This is
4 losses. Yeah. Now, like, I don't think that's a good representation of how he is as a fighter. I don't think he deserved most of those losses.
I think it's kind of like, I kind of view him like I view Diaz. I don't look at their record.
No, not their record, because he's one of the best. Yeah. Absolutely. And, you know, but it's not their fault when they get robbed. Yeah. So, but... honestly, I don't really know what's next for either one of them. Like, I can't honestly predict that.
I can't give like a true prediction. I'm thinking, you know, we'll talk about it later, but Darren Till and Robert Whitaker are fighting, so that's kind of like
that could be something.
So Paulo Costa versus Alessandra, I guess that's going to be next. Paulo Costa was cage side.
That could happen.
Yeah, so Paulo Costa was cage side. They kind of set that up. Paulo Costa got escorted out. You know, after the fight, he stood up. Dude, Costa was looking thick, boy.
Was he?
Yeah, he looked like he was about 240. I don't know how he's going to make 185. He said he walks around at 235. He might have been 250.
How in the world does he drop 50 pounds?
He looked thick, but he looked
like thick muscle or thick like chunky?
He looked like I don't know how to explain it. He looked like he had this button-up shirt that was all swagged out. He had his hair slicked over, and he's kind of chilling, you know, showing a little bit of cleavage. I don't know how to explain it. He looked like he was on a cruise just getting women. That's what he looked like. He looked like a boss.
Like Hawaii, like Hawaii 5-0 kind of thing. Yeah.
So that was funny because he's just over there chilling, and then after the fight, you know, he gets up and he's pointing and doing all this. And I kind of like Costa. That's what I was telling somebody on Facebook the other day when he's commenting about something. I was like, I like Costa. You know, Costa's kind of got a good character. I like pronouncing his name, Paulo Costa.
Paulo Costa.
And then his real name's Borrachini Costa. Yeah. And I'm like, you know.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
But he was thick, man.
I guess he could be next for Alessandra.
Yeah. And dude, what Alessandra said post fight, he was like, he called like he got the mic and said, what did he say? Something about he called Costa a Neanderthal. and was like, I'm surprised that Neanderthal's not throwing poop on the side of the cage or something.
Damn.
And I was
How
like,
can you talk crap after you just threw like arguably the least amount of punches?
And then he was like, Paulo Costa is so dumb. He's going to like push forward the whole time. I was like, yeah, he is, because he pushed forward against Romero. Yeah. Paulo Costa and Romero was arguably 2019 fight of the year.
Yeah.
That was one of the best fights I've ever seen.
That was a great fight. Like, I'm not saying Romero totally dominated that whole thing, but it seemed like he was robbed. But it was Paulo Costa also performed that night too. So
yeah, Paulo Costa pushes forward.
Yeah,
he's gonna push forward on Adesanya.
I'm just disappointed in Adesanya. Like I don't know. I was always a huge Adesanya fan before this, but now I'm just kind of like, come on, man.
Yeah,
you're supposed to do better.
John Jones fight's not happening now.
With
Adesanya,
nah. Some crap.
Because
maybe Costa could get on.
I think John Jones is taller than him.
Yeah,
and it's gonna hit way more than him. Like Romero might have weighed a little bit more, but he was shorter.
Yeah,
like Adesanya had a whole head on Romero, a whole head and shoulders. Yeah.
So. Well, then also last night we had Brian Ortega slap Jay Park.
Yeah.
Jay Park is a famous Korean rapper, apparently. I'm not into the K-pop, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
It's not my swagger, but my swagger is like the same green sweater that if you look through all of our videos on our thumbnails, I'm wearing this in like most of them.
I did that a couple on some of them. I'm like, Dad, I'm wearing the same shirt.
It's just a comfy shirt, like, but I'm just a dude, man.
It's all good. We're washing it, so it's all good.
Yeah, like I wash it every now and again. Like, I either wear like this sweater, that one blue shirt, or like a gray shirt, and that's pretty much it. Like, I got a lot more shirts. I wear like the same one. That's my swagger. I'm not into K-pop. Cool for you all who are. Cool. That's cool. I just don't know who K or J Park is, but he got slapped by Brian Ortega. Brian Ortega apparently slapped him because he was, what's that thing called?
The translator.
Translating for the Korean Zombie.
And he said stuff that wasn't exactly translated,
Directly. Directly. And so Brian Ortega got mad. And what'd he say on Twitter or something? He was like, next time I see you, Jay, I'm going to slap you.
And he slapped him.
Went up to him and slapped him. At last Saturday night's fight. So,
and now Korean Zombie versus Brian Ortega is the fight to make.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's probably going to happen. Yeah. Like UFC likes following, the beef. That's just funny.
Yeah.
So what's really interesting to me is the impact of the coronavirus on the UFC. So,
people are complaining they don't have sports to watch. UFC's the only sport going on right now. NBA's suspended. XFL's suspended.
March Madness is without.
March Madness is suspended.
They finally suspended it?
Yeah.
Okay, because the other day it was, hey, we're not allowing people to watch.
They suspended that.
Person.
Golf got suspended.
Wow, so man, nobody's around golf.
Yes, I believe NASCAR is going to go on without any fans. Which that's fine because
most people
everyone's
in cars. Well, yeah, most people, the players are in cars.
Yeah, so. And then UFC. So NASCAR and UFC is your only sports options. So this is good for the UFC.
This is really good for the UFC. So we got so the UFC.
Not the virus, not the virus. Obviously, I'm not saying that's good, but I'm saying this might get some new eyes on the UFC.
Yeah, tonight is the UFC's #1 first ever fight without an audience. It's going to be extremely interesting to watch it without any of a crowd's reaction, and I'm excited to see what the fighters' take is going to be on that. Are they going to enjoy not having fans? Are they going to hate it?
Most of them have embraced it.
I'm sure they'll take it as like a nice little break for a little while.
Well, I mean, like, if the fans don't like what you're doing and they're like booing because you're wrestling and stuff, you don't have to face that.
No, man, you just get to fight, like just you and that person.
Yeah.
And I wonder if we're going to see a turnaround where, if this does really well, do you think the UFC would want to take on a thing where they only allow maybe half the amount of fans or 3/4 amount of fans, and they maybe charge a little extra for tickets? I don't know.
Maybe, I don't know.
Maybe I could see it.
I mean, I have a feeling that. I mean, obviously, I'm not no doctor or nothing, but I have a feeling like by May everything will be back to normal.
See, some people are predicting like next year is when this thing will settle. Yeah. Now, who really knows? But they're predicting the long haul. They're predicting like this could be because it's just how people are acting. You know, you get 2 weeks off from work or whatever. Yeah. Maybe you work from home, or maybe work's just like, hey, go take off. That's meant for you to be at home. Go out as minimally as possible, watch your Netflix and your Hulu, your Disney Plus, whatever. But just be at home as much as possible. That's the point of that. But people are using it and they're like, I got 2 weeks, I got money saved up, I'm going to go on a trip. Flights are stupidly cheap right now. I mean, and I'm tempted, don't get me wrong. I'm off this week. I'm not off, I got to work from home. Yeah. But it's like, I could travel somewhere, and as long as I have an internet connection.
Could work from Florida.
I could work from Florida this week. You know, I mean, I could go to Iceland and work from Iceland. Like, I could do whatever I wanted. Like, flights are so cheap right now because they ain't got nobody flying. Yeah. That's not the point of this. And so that's kind of, it's like if people actually do what they're supposed to, we're going to see this thing settle down extremely fast.
I think it's going to settle down once we see these famous people that, like Tom Hanks, he's 63. I think once he beats it, it'll calm it down a little bit. The 2 NBA basketball players that have it, some of these famous soccer players, I think once we see they beat it, it's going to calm down. Obviously, it's still going to be a concern for the elderly. But,
no, what I'm talking about is the virus to calm down, not people. Yeah. People's reaction needs to calm down, but I'm talking about the actual virus. If people are like traveling less and whatnot, the virus itself will just kind of, there's nowhere for it to spread. Yeah. Now, the public's reaction on it, you know, me and Hannah were talking, and here I described it as it's like the entire world was told that they had diabetes. Because if you've ever been around someone for like a week, after they were told they had diabetes, they freak out. They're like, okay, I'm going to eat better, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to blah, blah. And, you know, they go into total, like, not apocalyptic mode, but just like very, you know, planning mode, like it's the end of the world kind of a thing. Once they realize that everything's good, they kind of calm down. And that's what I told her we're at right now is like if you told the whole world we're in a snowstorm or a snowstorm's coming, or you told whole world they got diabetes or whatever, they freak out for a little while, then they calm down, they realize everything's fine. Just listen to what the CDC is saying, VDH, WHO, listen to these people. Don't listen to the news. Don't listen to like MSNBC. Don't listen to CNN or Fox. Like listen... You know, unless you want to listen to like political crap or whatever. But like, if you want to listen to actual like virus stuff, go to one of those places. CDC, VDH, or unless you're not in Virginia, don't do VDH. But CDC, WHO, whatever. Because they'll tell you the facts and they'll tell you, here's what you need to do to be safe. And just listen to that. It's plain and simple. Stay at home if you can.
It is kind of weird though, how like China and stuff, like everybody's like we're just being told like, oh, wash your hands. But China and all these, like I seen a video about China and they had like these buses just blasting the streets with like.
Well, because it's rid in China. Yeah. Like the coronavirus is everywhere. And that's why they say wash your hands, because it's through touching and stuff like that. This is one of the few diseases that you can get just by like filling up on stuff. So if like someone with the coronavirus started rubbing on a handrail walking downstairs to the subway and you did the same thing, you have a good chance of contracting that because it's on your hand. And then if you're like me, like I drive, I do this a lot.
Oh, I do that all the time.
Everybody
play with
does.
My beard.
Play with this. Yeah, play with your eyes. Yeah. That's why they say wash your hands, because it could be on your hands if you wash them right. Yeah. And you don't touch your face, don't touch any of your orifices. You won't. Not that you won't, but you'll be less likely to get it. Yeah. So stay at home, wash your hands, stay clean. So and don't hoard crap. People are going to the stores and buying like 6 months supplies of like toilet paper and crap like that. You ain't gonna be home for 6 months, dude. I heard it.
People taking baby wipes, man. Yeah, the actual babies can't get no baby wipes.
I know, man. You gonna let that baby sit there with shit on its butt? Like, come on, man. Babies need it. Yeah. So it's like take just what you need. And me and Hannah were laughing because it's like, why didn't y'all ever have hand soap before? Like people are freaking out, like buying like 10 bottles of hand soap. It's like, if you weren't using it like before,
you had a can of Lysol in your house before.
Yeah, you should have already had some of this stuff. But they're, you know, and I heard a funny thing on the radio. They were like, if you're buying a 6 months of supply for toilet paper and you're using it in 2 weeks, you got a bigger problem than the coronavirus. Oh man, that was the funniest thing.
We're going through it because of Scrappy, man.
Well, yeah, that's different. Yeah, like you don't leave pee in the floor. That's the point, though. Like you got other things to use it on. But oh my gosh,
if we're buying it up, it's because Scrappy's eating all of it.
And Scrappy's eating it. Yeah. Scrappy proof. I wonder if he's getting into anything.
No, I hope not.
Let's hope not. I put those dishes up so he didn't break them in case, because they were on a rag, and I know he likes rags. So if he pulled it, it would just break.
That's smart.
So, but oh well, just be smart with the coronavirus. But unfortunately, the UFC. Well, maybe fortunately, who knows? Yeah. But there's no audience tonight, so I'm kind of excited to see how that's going to go.
Yeah.
That's in Brooklyn. No.
This one's in Brazil.
This one's in Brazil.
Yeah.
Coming up, we got one in Brooklyn, UFC 249 next month.
Yeah, it's in April. Not today, but next Saturday it's in London. That is Tyron Woodley versus Leon Edwards, headlining that. That is kind of a bit of concern because that is going on as planned, audience and everything. But as some of you probably know that's listening, the United States has placed a 30-day ban to Europe. Yeah. So Tyron Woodley and them United States citizens, they're going over to London. I'm kind of concerned if he's going to have to stay over there.
Yeah.
Now, I know I read something today. One fighter that's in the United States that's going over there said she has been promised to be able to come back the next day without being tested or quarantined. And I think whoever told her that is lying.
Yeah, I'm sure they'd want to at least test you.
Yeah.
So, but people are just trying to be safe. But, it's like, take the test. Like, if my work wanted me to be tested, I'd get it.
Yeah.
Taking
temperatures everywhere.
Yeah, like, I ain't going to complain because they're telling me to stay home for a week and work from home, so... We'll see. Yeah, I'm not complaining. I'd love to sit at home and do some work every once in a while without being on the road. Like, it gets old. You know how it is, just being on the road, man. It sucks. Yeah. So, I'm glad. I get to just purely work from home for once. Like, it's going to be nice.
Oh, yeah.
So, but it's going to be weird with the impact of the coronavirus on the UFC.
Yeah, and then Dana White, when he announced that how things are going to go for the rest of the month, he didn't give an update on UFC 249 in Brooklyn, Khabib versus Ferguson for the 5th time. Let's see. But New York, including Brooklyn, has placed a ban on gatherings of over 500 people. So, obviously, Khabib and Tony would be thousands of people.
Thousands, man. Tens of thousands, really. Like, I think those stadiums hold like 50, 60,000 people.
Yeah.
So, you ain't going to have that.
Yeah, and I don't know what they're gonna do. I was talking to Mary about it. Like, maybe what they could do is like not have an audience, but move the pay-per-view up to $100. Maybe try to make a little bit of money back.
Maybe. Yeah. Well, see, the thing is that we were talking about with all the employees of the stadium itself, and all the fighters, and all the employees of the UFC, and all the people who are with the fighters. You're probably close to 500 people there.
They're gonna have to limit it. They'll probably be like, maybe you can only have one cornerman.
They probably,
like, how they let them have 3.
They probably say 2.
They might say 1 or 2, and then.
But then think about all the people in the back. Like you see some of these fighters who are in their room, and they have like 15 people back there. Yeah. You'd have to limit that.
Yeah.
And leave it down to like 5 or something. Because that's a lot of people.
Yeah.
When you only have like a 500 amount, like a cap. So. Well, moving on, we've got Darren Till versus Whitaker coming up in UFC Dublin, Ireland.
I like this fight. I really do like it, but
I think it's a good fight.
I think it's a good fight, but I think
I'm kind of rooting for Till.
I think Darren Till, this is gonna. Let's see, who did Darren Till face? He faced Kevin Gastelum.
Yeah,
which was his debut at 185, but Kevin Gastelum was fighting at 170 for a long time.
Yeah,
so I don't feel like that was a real test. I feel like Robert Whitaker's sort of a real test because he's going to be a good test. Robert Whitaker still fought at 170 for a long time, but I feel like this is more getting into natural 185ers.
Absolutely.
I don't think it's going to go good for him because just how he fought Woodley.
Yeah.
I feel like Whitaker's going to bring that dog out. But UFC.
Are you going for Whitaker?
Yeah.
I see. I'm going for Till.
But this is a great headliner for UFC Dublin. Mm-hmm. I believe it is in September, something like that.
Yeah, we got a good little while.
Yeah.
So, but sorry, I did not have enough coffee this morning. So, see, I'm kind of rooting for Till.
Yeah, which I understand. He's got a lot of hype.
He got a lot of hype, and I could see him winning. But if Whitaker wins, you still got to pay him respect.
Yeah.
So, but what else do you have to add to that? That's kind of we're so far away. There's not much to say.
Yeah, there ain't much to say. Just kind of saying it's been announced.
Yeah, then we got Edson Barboza and Josh Emmett.
Yep.
For UFC Oklahoma City. When is Oklahoma City's fight?
I think it's in May. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's not much to say on that either. We still have a few months.
The weird thing about this dude is Edson Barboza on Monday, I think, asked for his release. He tagged Dana White and all them and said, I want to be released. I've enjoyed my time in UFC, but I want to be released. A couple of days later, he's announced for a fight. I think this is his debut at 145. I know on our New Year's show, I predicted that Edson Barboza would win the featherweight championship in 2021. So Josh Emmett, I believe, is top 8 or something like that. He might be ranked number 8. So Edson Barboza wins this fight, he gets a contender. He's pretty close to the title. He's arguably 2 fights away from the title right now.
True.
So I like that fight.
Yeah, if you get Emmett, then you could have another fight in 3 months.
Yeah.
And then you could end out December with a title.
Yep.
That wouldn't be bad.
That spinning back kick is dangerous.
It really is, man. He gets a lot of people.
Yeah.
So then what's next on our list? I think I'm really excited for this topic.
Oh yeah, dude. I'm so hyped about this.
This has been drawn out for a while. So what's next on our list?
So Stipe Miocic said that his eye is good to go. He has been cleared. He's been training. He expects to fight Daniel Cormier for the 3rd time in July.
That's a quick turnaround.
And we're talking International Fight Week. We're talking rumored Kamaru Usman versus Masvidal as the co-main.
What a fight, man. What a fight night. If we had DC and Miocic along with Masvidal and Usman. But dude, International Fight Week, they always make it the best
fights. It's the best card.
Absolutely.
Of the year. What was last year? International Fight Week was.
Oh gosh.
No, that one wasn't. That one wasn't International Fight Week.
July, was it?
That was the year before.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
We might not have a poster on it, but
was that really?
Oh, it was Masvidal Askren.
No way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Who was the headliner?
So,
Masvidal Askren.
Was it?
Who was
it wasn't.
The headliner?
I'm trying to think.
I remember it was awesome because I was so hyped about it. There was 3 fights on there.
Was it a Diaz?
No. Yeah,
Diaz. Your dad's here.
Was it Diaz Pettis? No, Diaz
Pettis was there.
It wasn't Diaz then.
Yeah, here's your.
Oh.
Oh my gosh, it wasn't Diaz Pettis.
Nah.
Oh man, I can't remember. It's at the tip of my tongue though, because we were oh yeah, you can't come back from that.
Yeah.
Nobody could top that fight right after, because that was the co-main, right?
Yeah. Was it Cyborg Nunez?
No.
No, because we were watching. Where were we watching the Masvidal fight?
We was watching it at Joe's. Yeah, okay. Joe's.
What was the main event? Dang.
Was it? It wasn't Usman. Was it? No. Oh man, I'm stumped here.
It was Usman Woodley. I believe, because Usman and Ben Askren and Woodley were fighting on the same card for the 2nd time ever because they're real big friends and teammates, and they both lost. So that's what it was. It was
Woodley. I think so. Usman. I think it was Usman. Yeah, it could be. Because we don't have Woodley Usman. Nope.
It might be. I can't remember. If it's not, forgive us. But back to it. DC versus Stipe 3.
That'd be an awesome international fight week. Yeah. You know, it's crazy. That would be the 2-year anniversary to their first fight.
Yeah.
So, to their first one when DC won.
Yeah, and just the way I feel about it is like, I feel like DC's the better fighter, but if just, he's got to stick with the game plan. He dominated that second fight all the way up to the 4th round, started striking. I don't know why when you was taking him down, doing dirty boxing.
I'm excited for this. Yeah. We're gonna put some money on it.
Yeah,
we got to put something big on it, man, for the third fight because we've been betting on it since the first one 2 years ago. So then we bet on the second one last year.
The only thing I don't like about this one is I guess I could see this as a good thing or a bad thing. DC's going into the fight knowing he's retiring. I don't like that in a lot of senses, but let's go to the reverse on it. He knows he's retiring, so he's been living in the gym. He's like, all I'm focused on is this.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But usually when fighters are like, oh, this is my retirement fight, it's tough. Usually they're very unmotivated.
Oh, I agree. Well, I'm excited. I hope it gets announced. I'm hyped for it. I'm hyped about a lot of stuff right now.
Yeah.
Inside and outside of Fight Pros.
Oh yeah.
We both got a lot of awesome crap going on. I can't stop thinking about everything. So, but that's all besides the point because a lot of what we're talking about is secret.
Yeah.
So you got something big coming up. I got something big. And we're crushing it, man. Yeah. Life's pretty great. So, and then Fight Bros podcast is crushing it.
Yeah.
The coronavirus is making people watch it. No, baby.
Yeah.
So that's so mean. But then moving on.
Islam Makhachev is under a lot of hot water. He posted a tweet after the greatest
women's fight
one of
ever.
The top 5 greatest fights ever.
Top women's fight ever.
He posted a tweet after this and said, "This is not a sport for women."
That made Twitter blow up.
Yeah, and he deleted it shortly after. If he deleted it, he obviously felt guilty and knew he was wrong.
Or he just didn't want to take the heat.
Yeah.
He might still be like, oh, I still believe it.
Oh, McGregor quoted it. McGregor, called it as soon as he tweeted it, quoted it, and was like, look at this clown.
Look at this clown.
Because, he hates all Khabib's teammates.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, I think he deserves to be under hot water. This ain't right. This ain't a good thing to say. Yeah.
And, what made me mad is I was listening to Brendan Schaub's podcast. Brendan Schaub, took up for him, saying, oh, this is his culture. He was like, Khabib feels the same way. Khabib's just not, ignorant enough to come out about it like he did. And then he was like, oh, and George St. Pierre said the same thing. George St. Pierre said, I don't care if women fight. It's just not for me. And I was like, no, don't sit here and take up for him and make it sound like it's right. No, they just put on one of the best fights ever. They outperformed men. Yeah.
Outperformed most men's fight. Really, top 5 fights ever.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. That's just crap. What do you mean this ain't for women?
Yeah.
Those women would kick your butt, Islam.
Yeah, they probably would.
Islam
Cyborg would probably tear him up.
Dude, I would rather fight... oh, gosh. We've mentioned it a few times as a joke. Boxer, Tyson. I would rather fight Mike Tyson than Cyborg.
Let him fight Garcia.
Yeah. Go fight Garcia.
Yeah.
Put y'all 2 in the ring. Yeah. Let's see. Dude, that'd be awesome as hell. To have those 2 in the ring together. Yeah. So I don't know. I disagree with that fully.
Yeah, I do too.
Women are great fighters.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. That's just the world's not at a place where you can say stuff like that. And even if you agree with it, maybe you should not agree with it because that was one of the best performances in UFC history. How could you say something like that?
Yeah.
So, oh well.
So he's got a fight coming up. So hopefully he loses.
Hopefully he gets rocked. Hopefully they substitute his opponent with Garcia.
Yeah.
So we got Gilbert Burns in the news. What's going on?
So next we'll give predictions for UFC Brazil tonight. That is doesn't have an audience.
It doesn't have an
this
audience.
Is a pretty good card. So if you have ESPN Plus, I would definitely recommend watching this. I'm gonna try to watch it. I'm gonna be at a birthday dinner. I'm gonna be streaming it on my phone. If my crap Sprint gigabytes will work.
Your crap
Sprint.
Don't. No, like we didn't say Sprint. We said like spent.
Yeah,
we said spent, because that's not a real phone company.
Yeah, man, Sprint's got horrible internet.
Sprint's got horrible.
Oh my gosh,
dude! What if this blows up and Sprint's like, yo, we lost business because of y'all. We get sued.
Oh, okay.
Fight Bros Podcast is an LLC, so you can't sue us for personal assets because no one's taken away my.
Once I'm not like with my family playing with cell phones, I'm definitely going to something else.
Yeah.
The internet's terrible.
Dude, I tell you, man, like, I love my Verizon. And I love my Verizon phone. I got the S10. And the podcast just uploads in, like, an hour.
Yeah, and we uploaded it on my phone last time, and it said it's going to take 3 hours, and it took
like 24
and
hours.
It's still the whole 24 hours. It said estimated time 3 hours. What? Yeah. So and then I'll stream stuff on her phone, US Cellular. It works perfect. So
USA Cellular.
Yeah.
we never talked crap about.
I hope I can stream the fight tonight at this dinner. I hope it will work.
Let me cut that off. Well, if not, I'll take your ESPN Plus account, then I'll just text you on how good it is.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to cut that on silent. I don't think I actually did. I hope it doesn't go off again. So tonight, who's fighting?
So this is a pretty good fight. We got Johnny Walker's on the card. I do not remember right off the top of my head who he's fighting, but Johnny Walker's always.
You got to root for
Johnny Walker. He's an entertainer, man.
He's a good fighter.
Dancing and doing all kinds of stuff. So he's very fun to watch.
Well, either I gotta say I'm gonna root for Johnny Walker because I'm just a fan of him. It's like I ain't even got to care who he's facing. Like Joanna Jędrzejczyk, always root for her. So then, who else do we have fighting?
Gilbert Burns versus Damian Maia.
Damian Maia. I think Corona.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna root for Damian Maia.
Yeah, I'm going for Damian Maia too because, dude, if he wins this. Gilbert Burns is a young up-and-comer. Damian Maia he's right back in that contender.
Yeah. Well, because he just beat Askren.
Yeah. He just beat Askren, so he's right back there. Maybe we get to see Damian Maia versus Masvidal, too.
That'd be awesome.
Masvidal
because I was going to say Masvidal wants that.
That's what people were saying. They was like, I don't think people realize that Damian Maia has wins over Ben Askren. He has a win over Masvidal.
He's got big wins.
He's got big wins.
He just hasn't been fighting a lot lately. He was fighting a lot in his, I don't want to say his prime, but kind of his prime.
He's still very high level. We've seen what he did to
extremely.
Askren.
Yeah.
Just in a grappling match.
He just isn't fighting as much, but he's still a great fighter.
Yeah.
So,
he might win. So, I think he didn't beat Kamaru Usman. It was kind of close.
Yeah. So I'm still rooting for Maia.
Yeah.
So we got Maia fighting who. That's our co-main, isn't it?
Yeah, so I'm going to go with Damian Maia with that one.
So who's our main?
Main event, Kevin Lee versus Charles Oliveira. This is very significant. Remember, Kevin Lee's been going on this tour. He's going to other people's countries and fighting them. He said after this, he wants to go fight Makhachev in Russia. So, but Kevin Lee missed weight, 2.5 pounds over.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're
right.
But
it's okay. They got it worked out. Fight's still going on.
So who are you rooting for?
I'm going for Kevin Lee.
See,
statistics usually show the fighter that missed weight, they're a little bit more powerful.
Yeah, and they kind of got less to lose.
They have a better record.
Yeah,
I remember at one time the fighters who missed weight were like 14-3.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know what that number is now, but usually the people who miss weight usually they knew they were going to miss weight, so they quit. They quit dehydrating themselves, and they're usually a lot better off.
Well, when they in their mental games are different because they're like, well, I already lost. I'm not going to get the title or whatever, so I'm just going to go out there.
Well, it wasn't a title. That's
I know that's not a title.
That's why there's not pressure on him.
Yeah. So I guess he doesn't really care. But yeah, I'm rooting for Kevin Lee.
It's gonna be tough. Charles Oliveira's on like a 8-fight win streak. I can't remember. He's beat some good people, good up and comers. I'm going Kevin Lee by majority decision though.
I think I'm going Kevin Lee TKO though.
Yeah, it might be. I mean, he knocked out Gunnar Gillespie, so it's gonna be a good one.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be a KO. I think it'll be like a TKO. So, because here in the UFC, man, they make it hard to get a knockout, like a true knockout.
Yeah.
You've just got to have a hell of a hit to get a knockout. Because didn't they even at first try to call the Masvidal Askren knockout a TKO where the ref didn't stop it immediately?
Yeah, that should have been 3 seconds.
Yeah, that should have been 3 seconds, but where the ref, where he kept punching him, I can't remember what they actually called it.
Oh, it was
a knockout.
I watched it the other day and I was still amazed.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, it's an amazing fight.
Yeah.
To watch. Like that was a turning point, really, for UFC history and for Masvidal alone. But oh man, that's an awesome fight to watch, and everybody has time to watch it.
Yeah.
So, oh man. But yeah, so I gotta agree. I'm going for Kevin Lee.
Yeah, I'm going for Kevin Lee too.
So
hopefully we can pull this out. We're gonna try to do a podcast next Saturday. Either next Saturday or Sunday. We might not get to do predictions for Tyron Woodley, but if we don't, go Tyron Woodley. But
who's he facing again?
Leon Edwards. He's number 4 contender. Yeah. Tyron Woodley's number 1. So most likely the winner of this fight will go on to fight the winner of Usman Masvidal. Yeah. Most likely. They might
not happen, but most likely.
They might give Covington a rematch, or if Woodley wins, they might do Woodley Covington. So we won't give predictions for that though.
Unless we do it Saturday.
If we do it Saturday, we're gonna give predictions. So we'll decide. Okay. If we don't give predictions, go Woodley.
Yeah. Well, anything else to add?
Nope.
Awesome. Well, guys, I'm excited for us to announce things that are personally going on, but we can't for a while. That big thing coming up with you.
Yeah.
I'm stoked for that, man.
Opening up a gym. Burke's Fitness.
Burke's Fitness. Dude, I thought we weren't going to talk about Burke's Fitness. Well, Burke's Fitness is going to survive, man. It's going to be in downtown Blacksburg.
Yeah, 24 hours basketball courts.
24 hours. They're closing off the entire Main Street to open up Burke's Fitness.
Yeah, we're going to have tanning beds.
We're going to have tanning
beds.
Oh, yeah. We'll massage your butt naked.
It's going to be like Planet Fitness, but
better.
But yeah. Planet Fitness, but for basketball players.
Oh yeah. You can play pickup 24/7. Get you some good massages. We'll even get those hydro beds, those Joe Rogan beds, and you come in, lay on a bed after you got beat by pickup.
Yeah.
Then go back out there and win again. So we'll have massage therapists there, doctors. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
So and anybody can come. It's gonna be completely free.
Yeah.
So, well, guys, in other news, keep watching.
Yeah, thanks for listening, guys. A lot of good stuff coming up with the UFC, and stay safe out there.
Yeah. Wash your hands. You should be doing that anyways. We shouldn't have to tell you that. Yeah. But please, wash them fingers. So, see you, dudes.
Thanks, guys.